We speak today not in anger, but in truth, not to beg, but to demand justice. For centuries, the old colonial powers built their wealth on Africa's suffering. The natural resources of Africa were looted without consent. The strongest sons and daughters of Africa were enslaved, transported, and worked to death. Entire civilizations were disrupted, economies distorted, and cultures attacked. This was not accidental, it was systematic, organized, and intentional. The so-called development of Europe and the United States did not emerge from thin air. It was financed by African gold, African land, African labor, and African blood. The slave trade and colonialism were not side chapters of Western progress. They were its foundation. While Africa was forced into underdevelopment, the West accumulated capital, technology, and power. The damage was not only physical. Colonialism inflicted deep psychological wounds, destroying confidence, fragmenting identities, and imposing artificial borders that continue to fuel conflict. Africa was denied the right to develop on its own terms. Even today, the effects are visible. Unequal trade systems, debt traps, and global structures designed to favor former colonial powers. Let us be clear, Africa's poverty is not natural. It was engineered. Therefore, this generation of Africans raises its voice and says, justice must replace denial. Accountability must replace silence. We are not asking for aid. We are not asking for sympathy. We are demanding legal, moral, and historical restitution. If taxes are collected within your nations for infrastructure, social services, and national repair, then it is both reasonable and just that equivalent reparative taxes be paid for the centuries of unpaid African labor and stolen African resources that financed your prosperity. This is not punishment, it is responsibility. Reparations are not about the past alone, they are about the future. They are about correcting a global imbalance created by crime, not competition. They are about giving Africa the means to rebuild what was deliberately destroyed: strong industries, advanced education systems, modern infrastructure, and technological independence. We demand recognition of historical crimes committed against Africa, legal frameworks for reparations and restitution, return of stolen cultural artifacts and resources, structural reform of global economic systems that continue colonial exploitation. Africa does not seek revenge. Africa seeks restoration. Africa does not want charity. Africa demands justice. The world cannot speak of human rights, democracy, and equality while ignoring the greatest historical injustice ever committed. True reconciliation begins with truth, and truth demands action. The era of silence is over. The era of denial is ending. Africa is standing up, united, conscious, and demanding what is rightfully hers. Justice for Africa is not optional. It is overdue.